first time I did a pull-up was probably sometime last year, about maybe a year ago now. So I was pretty new to the gym and I'd only been going for like maybe 2 months. And I remember specifically, actually, I remember how many reps I got on dips and pull-ups. I don't think I remember pull-ups, but on dips, I think I got 16 reps. And then I remember I got to 20 for the first time after a few months of going to the gym. And then that was a really big thing for me, because I was like, wow, that's quite a lot of dips in a row to do. And now I can do about 30 to 35 dips in a row. It's nothing like that special, I would say, but I guess it has increased quite a lot. So in this video, I'm just going to talk about how pull-ups and dips is like a really good subtopic that you can sort of enter from weightlifting, and how you can actually do that and move on to weighted pull-ups and dips as well. A few months ago, back in October, I think late October, I purchased, or me and my friend purchased anyway. I'll tag his channel in the description, he's got a sick channel. But anyway, me and my friend purchased these gymnastic rings, and we would basically just go to the woods and train gymnastics in the woods. And I found it really cool, and I made a lot of progress quickly, because when you're new to things, you just make a lot of progress in them anyway. So I was able to do muscle ups on the rings pretty damn quickly with only a couple weeks of actually training. And I've moved on to trying front levers and stuff on that. And I managed to rep out muscle ups not that long after getting my first muscle up, getting like 5, 6, 7 reps in a row. And I found it really fun, and it was a really good way to sort of enter the bodyweight training sort of niche of weightlifting. So basically there's weightlifting, right, which is the broad topic, or I guess you could say going to the gym is the broad topic. And then after about, it depends how long, but after a certain amount of time of just lifting weights, normally people will sort of specialize, if you like, and go into some sort of category. So some people might like just bodybuilding, that's probably the main one. And then some people might like powerlifting, or some people might like calisthenics and stuff. There's many different niches to like weightlifting and going to the gym. And I seem to have gone down the sort of route of, yeah, I still do some weightlifting, because for example, today, I noticed that because I've been doing a lot of weighted dips recently and a lot of just bodyweight dips, my lower chest was like kind of overpowering my upper chest, which isn't really what you want for like an aesthetical point of view. So I've decided to hit some incline bench press which involves weights in order to bring up my upper chest. And you can't really do that. I guess there's probably some sort of push-up variation or something like that, which you could do with body weight, but it's much easier with weights. I still do weightlifting if I want to bring up a certain muscle. There are limitations to just doing body weight and weighted bodyweight movements, because they're not as effective as targeting specific muscles, I would say. They're better for if you just want to do compound lifts and things like that. So I'm going to give you a quick tutorial on how to actually start doing weighted calisthenics, which has been an absolute game changer for me, because I realized that because I've always been able to do like quite a lot of dips, as I said, I was able to do 20 in a row, and then that increased over time as I was lifting more. And I was always really able to do over 10 pull-ups. So adding weights to my movements was an absolute game changer for me, because first of all, it was just exciting to have like a new sort of niche to the gym, because I was getting kind of bored of just hitting bench press and then hitting maybe some rows for back day, some like machine rows, and then maybe doing other exercises like maybe some incline curls, tricep push downs, overhead tricep. I'm not just going to keep naming exercises, but after a while, especially if you're not progressing like very quickly. So for me, it was always like my chest movements, I found it sort of hard to progress, and maybe I'm doing something wrong. Maybe I should have just changed my workout like rep range or something like that, or maybe I should have just eaten more or changed my diet. But I think that the gym sort of got a little bit dull, and starting doing weighted bodyweight movements was an absolute game changer because it made me excited for the gym again because I'm doing something new inside the gym. So that's another reason why you might want to start doing weighted calisthenics. Also, adding weight allows you to train in a lower rep range. So if you're already able to do 10 plus pull-ups and maybe 20 plus dips, then you can decrease your reps by adding weight. So you can see me here, I'll put it on screen, me doing plus 30 kg pull-up today. And this has allowed me to train in the 5 to 7 rep range, which is actually, here's like a little tip, that's not even that bad for gaining muscle as well. Like a lot of people, we've all seen the chart of what, like 1 to 5 reps equals strength, and then 6 to 12 equals hypertrophy, and then anything over that is endurance. But it's not actually that true, because I'm not a scientist, obviously. Like if you want a science-based lifter, just go to Jeff Nippard, honestly. But the last 5 reps are the only ones which are effective for hypertrophy. So if you're doing like 3 sets of 6, then that's still gonna be decent for like gains. And it's actually gonna be effective for gains, because if you're getting stronger, then you're gonna get bigger as well, and you are gonna gain strength with a lower rep range as well. So just consider that. Obviously don't cut out high rep sets. I still do high rep sets of dips occasionally. Actually, almost every workout, at the end of my workout, I'll do a high rep set of dips just with no weight on. So I'll do like 30, 35 reps at the end of my workout. A, because it's good for the pump, and that's kind of nice. And also B, it's good to sort of train in different rep ranges, not just training heavy all the time. It's also good to note that once you start learning pull-ups and dips and starting to do weighted pull-ups and dips, then you realize that calisthenics is also a whole it's a whole range of moves that you can learn within calisthenics. So it's super exciting. You can do handstand push-ups, which look absolutely incredible. You can do front levers, which look absolutely sick. You can do planches, and there's so many different moves you can do. And also muscle ups are a good move which you can aspire to, which I'm aspiring to. Obviously I can do ring muscle ups, but I want to move on to the bar muscle up. And also I want to note that there's literally no limit to how much weight you can put on your basic movements like pull-ups and dips, and eventually muscle ups if you get really strong. Like obviously you could say there's no limit to how much you can bench, but at the same time, another reason why I think you should maybe enter this niche of sort of pull-ups and dips as training, because that is a full upper body workout, by the way. If you hit pull-ups, then you're hitting your back and buys, and if you hit dips, you're hitting your chest, shoulders and tris. So that's a full workout. So if you don't really have much time, or you just want to keep it simple, then that's also great to do. Another reason why I think weighted calisthenics and just body weight movements like pull-ups and dips. When I say body weight movements, I'm basically just talking about pull-ups, dips, maybe chin-ups, but I'm not really too much of a fan of chin-ups. They're okay. They're good if you want to grow your biceps. So I don't mind chin-ups, I just mainly do pull-ups. Also, just to note, if you do a lot of dips, like I said, then your lower chest might get a little bit too overpowering over your upper chest, especially if you're naturally that way anyway, like I am. So just make sure that you, like I am, are hitting some sort of incline press movement using weights. Also, another benefit of doing this style of training is that not many other people actually do it. So it makes you sort of unique within just weightlifting, because yeah, sure, a lot of guys can load up a lot of weight on the bench press, and you see that way more often than someone who's loading up 50 kilograms on his pull-up or his dip. Calisthenics athletes do look very muscular, so it does build muscle as well. If you train in that strength and hypertrophy rep range that I said, of 5 to 7 reps, then you will build muscle, and it will be lean muscle. You won't, basically, to be good at calisthenics, you have to be lean, and you don't have to be like completely 5% body fat shredded, but it's not really optimal for calisthenics to have like a high body fat. So calisthenics will help you to build lean muscle. Just to note, if you're not lean right now, if you have like a high body fat percentage, then there's nothing wrong with that. All you can still do the exact same thing. So train with that 5 to 7 rep range, but just do the assisted pull-up machine at your gym. When I started out, I started with doing the assisted pull-up machine. There's absolutely nothing wrong with starting with this. Just try and progressively overload. I haven't told you about this yet, but basically, I'm sure you already know if you're already into the gym and stuff like that. But so say you're training in the 5 to 7 rep range. So each week you want to be adding weight. So obviously everybody already explains this online. It's no like wow information. You should already know this. But so for example, last week I did 27.5 kg on my pull-up. This week I did 30. So you want to increase your lifts over time, and then it gets more and more impressive over time, and you can move on to more and more skills.